Welcome to the latest episode of the Middle-Aged Outlaws podcast, the podcast where two middle-aged, cynical and jaded Scottish wrestling fans try to find any modicum of joy through the greatest form of entertainment in history, professional wrestling. Adam, today is a raging climax. A raging climax in more ways than one. It's the raging climax of 2025 for us.
Yeah.
Of course. But also the raging climax of Vince Russo's car crash booking from WrestleMania 14, where Stone Cold won the title, through to today's raging climax, which is WrestleMania 15. And I have some questions for you.
Okay.
Maybe you could ponder these across the episode.
Okay.
Is this the best raging climax you've ever had? Maybe. Is it a one-match WrestleMania card? Was it as good or bad as you remember? Should we be bringing back the Brawl for All? And why the fuck did they let Shawn Michaels on TV in that state and dressed like a Timu Don Johnson? Discuss.
All good questions. Yeah, they're all good questions. This maybe wasn't as good as I remember. There's a lot of trash on this. The undercard, I mean, it's not amazing.
From a technical wrestling point of view, or just from a needing to sit and watch this shit point of view?
Okay, so from a technical wrestling point of view, it's not very good.
It's terrible. That's fair.
From a needing to watch it point of view, I do feel like it's really all about the main event. There was like Undertaker, Boss Man. You know, do I ever need to see that again? Did I need to see what we're going to talk about in a little while? I don't know. Things like, you know, I have a major gripe that I think is only going to get worse in the short term about the Intercontinental title.
Oh, okay.
Because you know what that used to be? For us, it used to be like your best worker in the organisation carrying this title, doing all the shows, having good technical matches against good level challengers, and now it's just another car crash.
I don't know. I'm struggling with your gripe there, but we can discuss it.
Okay.
So every title on this, every title is defended on this card for, I think this was only about 2 hours 40 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
For 2 hours 40, I feel like they squeeze in a lot.
Yeah. Do you think they're maybe missing like a happy medium? Because I think nowadays every match is like half an hour and you get 3 or 4 on a show, and that's kind of your lot. Whereas here you'll get like a 2-minute match.
Yeah.
There's room, I think, for both styles on a card.
I think I prefer this style
to
the long, drawn-out 400 kick-out finishers and whatnot.
Yeah, I think I'm not really watching much current. So I can see how the current... Like, it doesn't have to be the same thing on every show, though. Or through every show, rather.
Yep.
You can have your one match that's like a half hour and there's a lot going on in it. And then you could have a couple of matches that are 10, 15 minutes and then some really short ones if you wanted.
Yeah. I seem to remember anyway, the Triple H NXT was pretty good at that. And quite well rounded as far as a ladder match, a technical match, a fun match. You know, it doesn't... But I think that is something that is... It at least helps with the Attitude Era generally, is that realistically, if it's a bad match, then it's not going to go that long.
Yeah.
Unless it's got Triple H in it, apparently, because that match must have went for 11 minutes. That's really surprising. that only went 11 minutes. That felt long.
That did feel long. There's some things I don't think I'm going to get to grips with liking.
Is Tori's cat outfit one of them?
It wasn't what was in my mind in the moment I said it. But yeah, now that you've said it, now that it's out there, yeah.
Michael Cole had a little bit of Tourette's and he just sort of went, "What is she wearing?" And then just like stopped himself and just started speaking about the match.
I think I'm not going to like any hardcore matches.
Really? At all? Yeah. Is it because of the headshots or is it because of the silliness?
A bit of both.
Right.
I also feel like I feel like these are going on for ages and they don't need to. And I don't know if it did. It felt like it did to be
7 minutes.
Oh, it felt like at least 17.
Yeah, I don't think Al Snow needed to do that thing spinning the stick about twice. I thought Billy Gunn was like full of beans for this show. He was like flying about in the hardcore match, and then when he interfered later on, he went sliding right across the ring and nearly out the other side.
Yeah, he went right through. Yeah, we were talking the last time we recorded about it maybe being a punishment that Billy Gunn was kind of relegated from intercontinental level to hardcore level. But if he was, I think, trying to get back in the good books by going all in for it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So that was we had Boys to Men.
We had Boys to Men, yeah.
Do you have a favourite America the Beautiful opener of WrestleMania? Has to be Aretha Franklin, because that's the only one I can remember off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, there's not really leaping into my mind. I don't think I care.
Fair. Boys to Men weren't doing it for me, unfortunately.
What I do like, though, is the intro video packages that are classy Freddie Blassie talking. Yeah. Those work for me.
Oh, same. They're amazing. Yeah. Do you know Fred, if he was ever a good wrestler? He must have been sort of... He's kind of legendary, isn't he?
He must have been. And then I think he had quite a career as a manager as well.
I think 20 years from now, there'll be middle-aged guys going, "Oh, I love those dramatically voiced Triple H intros. Paul Levesque guy, I don't know what he used to do before, but he's so gravelly when he talks."
It's harder to imagine. Maybe they'll all be going nuts over that noise that it makes when you start Netflix, which wouldn't be a thing by then.
Aye, Freddie Blassie does an epic intro. It makes everything feel so theatrical, dramatic. And this didn't feel particularly focused on it did focus on WrestleMania, but not really the matches or what was happening.
More the history and the importance of WrestleMania rather than the actual matches on the card. It's a funny show. It's a funny card.
I feel like I've not heard the phrase "showcase of the immortals" in quite some time.
Yeah. True, yeah. When did you watch this? Did you watch this just yesterday?
Yes, last night.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. So it was last week for me.
Okay. Did you remember it?
Yeah. Some bits of it not at all. Some bits of it clearly. And some bits of it, once it happened, I was like, oh yeah.
Right.
It kind of came back to me. But I was, when this was actually on, I was all in. I was an avid viewer. I was watching as much wrestling content as I could get. So I imagine I absolutely loved a lot of this.
Amazing.
At the time.
Which is quite sad to then go back and watch it and be like, this is...
I think there's some bits where I can make sense of why my opinions changed. We've talked about chair shots to the head. I'm not going to enjoy that the way I used to when I was young. And that's easy thing to explain away in my mind. But some of it, I don't know, was I embracing the car crashness of it in a way then that I don't now? I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, styles and appetites and likes change, I suppose. Talking of headshots, and we will get to it, but that hit, I have to mention it while I remember it. This chair shot that Mike Chioda took Was it from The Rock? Aye?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That's brutal.
The people needed to be just taking chairs away from The Rock. He's no business with a chair in his hand.
That's a good point. What do you think of the whole stage and setup and stuff? The sort of big diamond thing that everybody had to duck under when they were coming out.
Yeah, I'm not hugely keen on that. It makes it look awkward when they're doing their entrances. Yeah,
it was a weird thing. It's kind of like what they had for, what do we watch? St. Valentine's Day Massacre. They had something quite similar.
Yeah,
and same for the Rumble as well. They're obviously going for some sort of aesthetic, but I'm really not quite sure what it was. Yeah. It's such a stark difference from the giant Titantron big screens and all that sort of stuff. I do. Yeah, I miss the different pay-per-view setups and stuff, but that would require me to have to watch all of them, I suppose, to miss it. But you know what I mean.
Yeah. They each felt like they had their own character, and now it's all very generic.
Yeah. So the hardcore match, we had the champion Billy Gunn randomly. Don't know when he won it. Must have been within the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think they said he has had the title for 2 weeks.
Al Snow and Bob Holly, who's now going by Hardcore. Still not got the trunks yet, but he's obviously saw Austin with the black trunks and thought, this is where I can get to the... He's got rid of the Job Squad t-shirt. Did we see Al Snow and Bob Holly fighting in the Mississippi River or something like that? Yep.
Yeah.
Now they've added Billy Gunn to the mix. So was Road Dogg not in that match? No. Or was that a triple threat as well?
I think it was a one-on-one.
Was it?
That one. Yeah.
They're sort of fairly tame hardcore matches compared to what hardcore matches then became, say, like a year later.
I think this is partly what's in my mind as reasons why I don't really like it. I think I'm watching it completely contradicting myself, both thinking, but if you're calling this a hardcore match, make it violent, and then I'm like, I don't want to see violence. So I don't know what I want, but I just feel like it's not this.
Nah, it's just like a normal match, but loads of stupid weapons and an opportunity to rattle each other over the head with chair. Well, I mean, saying that, Big Show was just smashing Mankind with the chair, and Earl Hebner was like, "My hands are tied. What could I possibly do?"
I must have been feeling like just at the start of getting a wee bit festive as I've been doing my notes for this, because I felt like Holly and Snow. Nice, it's Christmas.
There you go. An ass. No.
Well. It's how good you've been.
Yeah. So you didn't love it. I don't have detailed notes on it. Like I said, lots of hockey sticks, some Philadelphia Flyer chants from the crowd.
Yeah.
A Faymaster on the chair. But yeah.
I didn't know if this was the first time that we'd started to see, or if this has been going on for ages and I just hadn't picked up on it, but how much Al Snow is talking to Head
right, okay.
through this. I have a feeling that's going to continue for a while.
So I think it must have been a while, because remember he had that match where it was Al Snow and Head versus the King and someone. And he needed...
Al Snow and Head against Too Cool.
Oh, that's right. That was 1998, so it must have been a while.
Yeah, okay. And King, I think, was the referee,
Right.
Guest referee. Yeah, that's right. I think there was
lots of Head references, and I think Michael Cole says he gave him Head and stuff.
I think there's some good showcases of Billy Gunn's strength in this, which is obviously impressive. He's a ridiculously strong-looking guy. He does feel like a little bit of an awkward fit in this situation, but not always in a bad way, because, there's often a lot of nonsense going on around him, and it feels like he's just picking someone up and thinking, I'm just going to hit this guy with this then.
I quite like that about it, I think.
Yeah.
It just feels so bizarre, right? So if this was a punishment how bizarre is it, especially with Intercontinental title picture, to just fuck up a couple of your matches on your biggest show of the year to give someone a I don't know, a row to tell them off for punishment.
It also, because we were watching, and the last event we watched as well, these Billy Gunn and Road Dogg were separated, but still like acknowledging each other on their intro. So I don't think the tag team have split as such. No. I think they're still aligned with each other. And then with some of the stuff that goes on later in the show, I'm pretty certain that they are fully realigned with each other very soon.
Yep. They both have the same music. They both, Road Dogg says something about I represent New Age Outlaws or something in his intro.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Would you prefer Road Dogg to be in this?
Maybe.
Does it matter?
Maybe. It probably doesn't matter that much.
Okay. Talking of things that don't matter, I think I've only got the list of the matches, so you can maybe tell me if there's a promo in between matches or anything.
So after that match finished, what we saw were Test and D'Lo on Heat winning the Battle Royal. So basically, the last two contestants in the Battle Royal were going to become a team that were going to get a tag team opportunity on this show.
Right. And then the tag champions, Owen and Jeff, jump them after.
Yes.
Now, think of this as a sort of sliding doors moment where we converge into a different universe, and Droz was in the final four, right? Droz eliminates the Godfather. D'Lo eliminates Test. Droz and D'Lo were a tag team. They beat Jeff and Owen, and they went on to be tag team champions for 10 years.
Oh.
And Droz was fine.
Could that only happen because the entire booking team forgot the tag team titles existed? Which, based on the way this came together, seems pretty realistic.
Are we sure that's not the case? What an absolute spit in the face. Do you know the Legion of Doom were in that Battle Royal, as were the Hardy Boys.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Edge and Christian were hanging about up in the rafters. But we got D'Lo and Test.
I suppose at least, some of those that, not so much Legion of Doom, but some of those are indicators about, we will get a bit of tag team greatness in the years ahead because there's 3 teams that have brilliant matches with each other. But yeah, it just feels like I genuinely imagine somebody is sitting around a table. There's Vince, there's Bruce Pritchard, there's Pat Patterson. They're all like, "Oh shit, the tag titles, the what? The tag titles. We don't have anything for those going on. Like, do a tournament on Heat. Who cares?"
Yep, you can see it. And how long did they get? Can't be long at all. 3 minutes 58.
3 minutes.
Wow, that's so bad.
Yeah.
But of the match that they had, so we had D'Lo with Ivory, who was wearing a plaster on her face because she'd been attacked by PMS, who'd put a cigarette out on her face, I believe, and Test representing the corporation against Jeff and Owen.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Like, we got lovely little bits with D'Lo, but with some, we spoke about him before, I think really underrated, really mobile, big guy. I think he has some nice little bits and pieces, particularly with Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett making moves for him, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I thought Owen was looking a bit chunky here.
I think he did, yeah.
I wonder how much he was loving his wrestling at this point. Although this would be his last WrestleMania, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because I think it was said when he passed away, he basically had his plan in his mind about when he was going to be done.
Get out.
And walk away, which kind of just makes that all sadder.
Absolutely. Anything to say? Anything to say about this match?
Yeah, I didn't mind. I remember thinking the last time I'd like to see a bit more of Owen and Jeff, and I don't know how much more we will see now beyond this, but quite an interesting team. Two sort of older school guys, but capable of being a bit comedy or a little bit more serious. Yeah, quite like that team. I think the story they were telling, kind of, about Test just being, well, basically a bit of a dick who wasn't really interested in winning the tag titles. Didn't really seem fussed about that. Just kind of almost doing his own thing in the team. Some of the stuff, I think Deborah forgot like all of her clothes for this, and they're constantly playing up, the distraction that she's going to cause. But I think it was just a bit. It's just disappointing. This is your tag team title match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, to think you could probably put Owen and Jeff with all sorts of different teams. You could put them against big guys and have them sort of cheating to keep the big guys down. With young baby faces like the Hardy Boys or something like that.
Yeah,
the wily veterans working together. Even putting them against like two main eventers, but because they're this sort of well-oiled machine, they work better with each other. I think there's potential for them to have been given a lot more TV time, in-ring time.
Yeah. I think it was a missile drop kick off the top by Owen, I think, that allowed Jeff to get the pin to retain.
Yeah. PMS came out to mess with Ivory, and Test took it upon himself to step in. It didn't seem like he was really getting involved very much, apart from standing sort of laughing at them. But hey ho, I'm sure that'll set up a great Test v D'Lo match.
Fantastic.
On like the following Sunday Night Heat or something.
The next segment is the build to the Brawl for All Butterbean against Bart Gunn match.
Yeah, Bart the Hammer Gunn.
Oh.
What was going to happen here? Now, if Bart Gunn had managed to do anything except use his head as like a Churchill dog type thing, like say it went to a decision, or he'd outpointed Butterbean, or he beat him, knocked him out.
Yeah,
like. It's not like he's shown any charisma.
No.
His ability to work's probably quite poor.
Yeah. Because there was always the story that he was not the person that the Office had in mind winning the Brawl for All when they started the Brawl for All. I think it was Dr. Death, Steve Williams, that some of them wanted to win. With a belief that he would then become a legitimate main event challenger, which, from what we saw of Steve Williams, is pretty hard to. It's pretty difficult. But I think he was past his physical best by this point. There's obviously some. It's stupid to say anything else. There's obviously some ridiculously tough guys in WWE, and you've got guys like Bradshaw who, time would tell us could become a main event guy, but I don't think anyone would have expected it here. And yet, from the guys that were in it, because I think your Shamrocks and your Dan Severns either refused to enter or withdrew partway through because they felt like it would cost them the trust of all the people they were working with on a daily, weekly basis.
Which is understandable.
Yeah. And I think, was Steve Blackman in it? I think Steve Blackman was in it.
I have a feeling Steve Blackman got injured or something, which prevented him from being in it in the final or something.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't know where they wanted to go with it. And I don't know if the Butterbean thing just kind of was a moment idea of somebody being like, oh, you know what we should do? We should try and capitalise on this thing that, Bart's surprised everyone, get him in, and yeah, he'll probably destroy Bart, but that's fine because we don't have any plans for him anyway. Okay.
Because Butterbean seemed to have had some sort of worked boxing match with Mark Merrow.
Right.
Because they were showing that and like Mero was like selling his punches like fucking death and all that, like total comedy selling. Yeah, it's totally bizarre. It's easily one of the most bizarre things to have ever been on a WrestleMania.
I've heard so many talking heads talk about it as being like the worst idea ever, and it is really, because like you're basically saying to your audience, okay, just so you understand, this is real. So everything else you'll see is not real, but this is real. And then you just want them to like immediately forget that when you're done. It's the whole concept's weird.
Yeah.
And the top guys were never going to be in it. You know, there's absolutely no value in a guy that's like a main eventer saying, "Oh, do you know what? I'll just go and get knocked out by Bart Gunn." It's not going to help any of them.
No, and it's potentially really ugly to watch as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, we've probably spoke longer than the fight was on for.
Yeah.
About it. I forgot that Butterbean had knocked him down. Within like 2 seconds. He cracks him round the back of the head and he's down. And he's staring at the guy that's the ref, Vinny, what they call him, like the Tasmanian Devil or something. He's staring a hole through him. I wonder if he's trying to try and catch that there's just one of them.
Yeah, I think we should have been done there, but you know, I suppose that's not quite, maybe at the time, maybe just not considered to have been enough. But I mean, he's done. He's gone, and then there's a couple more punches that he catches. Butterbean is a scary man. You know, he's huge. I think he had a bit of a drug problem or something like that. So I mean, you're getting in there with a guy that's like that, and you know, maybe isn't fully coherent at the time. I mainly remember Butterbean from like Jackass stuff.
Yeah, me too. Yep. He's throwing to kill though. He's not like jabbing out to try and feel out Bart Gunn. He's throwing.
I imagine, you know, we were messaging about like the build up where, you know, some of the people that are involved with helping Bart get himself ready are talking about what they think will happen in the fight. And I did wonder, do you think anyone that's, you know, going to be in Butterbean's corner is just like showing him that or anything beforehand? Just, look, they actually think this guy's going to beat you. He's like
smashing his head off brick walls, isn't it? They then had to sort of style out, I think, some of this because it finished so quickly, and they're trying to get all the boxing ring stuff off the ring and all that. So we get the I can't remember. It was some sort of chicken.
The chicken.
Is it like San Diego chicken or something?
It's some sort of mascot of some kind, and then does anything? What happens?
Oh, he's a cheeky wee chappy. Like he goes to shake that guy's hand, and then he gives him like the, and then he lifts his leg like he's peeing on him. So the guy,
yes, that's it. That's the
guy knocks him out.
He lifts his leg.
I wonder if that was Pete Rose. That'd be brilliant if it was.
Not. I hope not. He shouldn't have been sent back out there anyway.
It would explain why he came back out.
True. Our next segment, again from Heat, is Big Show and Mankind. Big Show's like waiting for Austin to arrive at the arena.
Oh yeah.
And Mankind starts fighting him. Causes a distraction. So Big Show misses Austin, just kind of strolling through in the background. He gives a look and a smile and all that. He's just like, yep.
That's perfect. For that. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And we get a Mankind promo of him saying he's fought past every obstacle McMahon's put in his way, and he will beat Big Show as well. So we're about to go into the Big Show against Mankind. Winner gets to be special guest referee during the main event.
That's right. Big Show looks like, talk about a sort of understatement, but Big Show looks ginormous here.
Yeah.
It's just the black boots and black pants. He's all oiled up.
Mm-hmm.
He just looks unbelievable.
Yeah.
And
it's kind of the I think you mentioned this the last time. They kind of make it hard to believe that anyone could ever actually beat him.
Yeah. Yeah, when he picked up Austin and he's cradling him like a baby and throws him at the cage, and then that made me think about this match. I was thinking about that and what he did with Austin. So, like, the very first thing he did on his very first night in the company was he fucked up.
Yeah.
And this is a month down the line, and he's done it again.
Yeah.
They seem to have turned him face by attacking Vince. Like, he's in Bret Hart and WCW levels of early booking already.
And it is amazing to think how quickly it's got there, because like he debuted just a few weeks ago, and he looks ridiculous. And I think, you know, it's hard to gauge watching on Netflix what the crowd's reaction was, but what part of a crowd isn't going to be impressed by seeing this giant that they know, most of them will know, has been in this other company and, you know, won significant things there, and he's here now and he's massive, and it does kind of feel like they almost brought him in for one moment and then they're like, oh, what do we do with him now?
And isn't there a whole thing about Vince saying that WCW never knew how to book a giant or something like that?
Yeah.
Which is just ironic.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I want to talk about this match is Mankind being on his back and Big Show throwing himself backwards and putting both his feet in the air and taking his full weight on him.
Yeah. I don't know how that didn't kill him.
Like, I remember, was it Vader did that? Vader did that to Foley in their Halloween Havoc match, didn't he?
Yes, yeah.
But Big Show's like two Vaders.
Oh yeah. They actually, they're having Big Show dominate in a way here that does make you think they maybe do have some plans for him at some point, because he, I think, has pretty much the entire match here. He's just beating the hell out of him.
Yeah.
And it's all about Mankind just trying to survive, and he gets, like, you're thinking his thing's the mandible claw. He gets the mandible claw on, but that's when Big Show just drops his full weight on top of Mankind, and you're like, well, what else could he possibly have? What can you do? So it seems like it's a foregone conclusion. There is a moment your favourite referee, Earl Hebner, with your favourite 3-count moment.
Gimpy thing.
He's really getting in Big Show's face, and it's just like the comedy visual. He's not getting in his face; he's getting in, you know, his stomach, probably.
Business,
pretty much. He's really having a go at him, and it just made me laugh, because Big Show, I think, just keeps hitting Mankind with a chair. Hebner's probably having flashbacks to Mankind taking those chair shots from The Rock. But yeah, the story here being that Big Show, he sets up 2 chairs in the ring, and he's already had all the warnings from Hebner. Sets up 2 chairs and then chokeslams Foley sort of between them, and Hebner's had enough. He's blown this whole thing off. He's done. Big Show's going to be disqualified, which will mean Mankind's the ref. And then, yeah, like you say, I'm thinking we're going full on face turn already for Big Show, because Vince comes out furious, just shouting at Big Show, pointing in his face, having a go at him, and I think it's the second time round. So Big Show looks like he's about to chokeslam him, but then puts him down.
Picks him up in his second thoughts, yep.
Yeah, and when he puts him down, he says something like, "You're nobody, damn it," and "I'm Vince McMahon, damn it," and then slaps him in the face. And that's the point where Big Show just hits him with a firm right hand. And Vince, I think, has to be helped back by the Stooges.
Yep.
But he wants the police called. He wants Big Show arrested for assault. So from a storyline point of view, where we've got to is, if he can physically make it there, Mankind will be the referee in the main event, the title match. It's not the way he had hoped to be in the main event, but he's there kind of as a referee. And Big Show's fucked it.
Well summarised.
Yeah.
It's just another year where Foley's done so much grunt work and ended up with always the bridesmaid.
Yeah.
I suppose.
He'll get his moment, kind of, in a 4-way.
In a 4-way. I was going to say in a 4-way with Linda McMahon.
Oh.
No. She's the one that's in his corners.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, is there anything after that match, or are we into
I think
IC?
it goes straight into the IC match.
Okay, so we've had, up till now, we've had Val Venus in the IC picture. We've had Ken Shamrock. I don't think we've had Goldust. Goldust was facing Blue Dust at the last pay-per-view. The Blue Meanie is now in his corner along with Ryan Shamrock, who gets around, it seems. You can't eliminate everybody by now that Goldust was the only one left. And, yeah, Road Dogg, as we said, has not been in the Intercontinental picture. Somehow he comes in champion, doesn't he?
He comes in champion,
yeah. And this is a 4-way. It's an elimination. And I'm going to be honest with you, Adam. How long we got? 9 minutes it was. I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. I'm always impressed when we see Val Venus. I think he's technically quite a good wrestler.
He's pretty good, yeah. I think my issue with it is I feel like so much of it is dominated by shenanigans. Because you've got Blue Meanie, you've got Ryan Shamrock, you've got their whole weird battle for the affection of Goldust, which I think has its comedy place. I don't need its comedy place to be in the middle of an Intercontinental title match.
I did quite like Blue Meanie never stops working this match. He's behind Ryan Shamrock, giving her different faces and I don't like you and you're naughty and all this sort of stuff. And he never stopped, to his credit.
So the story is he is jealous, I think, of Ryan Shamrock also having aligned with Goldust.
Mommy.
Yeah. And that plays a part as we're going through the match. I see Ken Shamrock as an Intercontinental competitor. I don't think Road Dogg's out of place in that environment. I think he's often the guy that's just getting his ass kicked through a match, but he does it effectively. He's good at that.
Aye.
I think Val Venus is a decent worker. Goldust's a good worker as well. I think there was just a bit too much nonsense going on.
Yeah, for an elimination match, it's a weird one where it went on for quite some time with the 4 of them.
Yeah.
And for there to be Venus and Shamrock get eliminated together with a double count, it was pretty odd.
Yeah.
Strangely booked, but yeah, I found it generally quite entertaining.
I laugh every time that they mention the Intercontinental Championship tournament that took place in Rio de Janeiro, which I think everyone knows never actually took place. That was referenced at least once during this match. I don't think Ryan Shamrock has yet grasped any idea of what goes on in wrestling. She just looks really confused on the outside.
I thought that too. King's going on and on about her as well.
Yeah.
She's just a young girl standing there he's going, oh my God, crazy about her.
There were occasional moments in the commentary for this. I've become way less of a King fan than I was when I was a teenager, but there are occasional moments where I remember just those little bits why I quite liked him, and it wasn't about the shouting puppies every few seconds and things like that. I loved how classic heel commentator he would go, where the heel is breaking the rules and he's celebrating it, and then as soon as the babyface does it, he turns on JR. He's like, how can you condone this? And all that. He just switches like that. That's your classic heel announcer. Yeah.
So like I said, we get Shamrock and Val Venus eliminated by double count out, which leaves us with Goldust and Road Dogg. And it's over after that fairly quickly. Yep. Goldust goes for a powerbomb. Road Dogg very awkwardly awkwardly tries to roll through it, but sort of lands Goldust on his head and pins him.
Yeah.
And this was after Ryan Shamrock had pulled Goldust's leg off the ropes. I don't know what she could have possibly been doing that was meant to be anything else.
Yeah, I think what they showed when they showed the replay was initially Goldust was propelling Road Dogg towards the ropes, but he reversed it and sent Goldust towards the ropes. So I think what you're supposed to believe is she had the timing to do a no-look leg grab because she thought it was going to be Road Dogg.
Okay, I can give you that.
I think that's what they were trying.
That's generous, but I can give you it. So Road Dogg wins the match, and he does a very funny "your ass better call." He points at his bum and like does the Babe Station phone thing, which is quite funny, and leaves Goldust to him and Blue Meanie are berating poor Ryan Shamrock. I guess that's probably her.
Yeah, I can't imagine where she would be going from here.
Just to someone else's locker room, probably.
Probably, yeah. So we've had Val Venus. I suppose unofficially Ken Shamrock, because that would have been a bit weird storyline-wise.
Yep. Billy Gunn Munder, didn't he?
Yeah. She's probably had her time to work around the locker room and then,
okay.
There's a segment. Yeah.
All right, okay.
So we have the cops arriving to take the Big Show away.
Oh, yes.
And I remember, I had a flashback to when I was younger, and I remember thinking, this is all a ruse. Vince has set this up, so, in my mind, this all being not real, but, real enough. Vince has set this up so that it looks like they're taking the Big Show away, but he's still going to be here when the main event goes on. He's going to interfere in some way. That's what was in my mind.
You were giving them far too much credit.
Yeah. We get a little bit of the background then with China having left DX and moved to the corporation. We get a situation where Triple H accidentally Kane hits China with a fireball. Kane hits China with a fireball accidentally.
You'd think if somebody had been burnt as a child, they wouldn't be going about brandishing fireballs.
Yeah, they should know better, really. And then we get Triple H burning Kane in retribution, even though China's left the DX. And then we also get pre-match. We get Pete Rose this time. Well, the chicken comes out. I don't think we know it's Pete Rose at that time. We're assuming it's the same guy that was out there before. But we're reminded, and I couldn't have remembered the timeline of this, but it was the previous year's WrestleMania where Kane had tombstoned Pete Rose. And this time it's Pete Rose in the chicken costume looking for a bit of revenge. I think you've got to learn to let things go, Pete Rose, because Kane's a fiery monster. He just gets tombstoned again.
Yeah, he does. You have to admire his tenacity. Does he ever come back again? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
I think he's a Hall of Famer,
I think I've definitely heard... I assume it was Bruce Pritchard talking about what it was like to work with, and he said he was bloody brilliant. He would just, he would turn up and he'd be chatting to everyone, really respectful to everyone, and just really keen to get involved.
Brilliant. So, he must be quite game, given the sort of character he's just played there.
Yeah.
I think Kane looks like an absolute specimen here.
Yeah.
He's terrifying.
Yes.
He is standing in the ring after this all happens. We get Triple H's music, and Triple H, being the devious scoundrel that he is, he comes in from behind Kane, gives him a low blow, and then striking the fuse of the Monday Night Wars, he has the cheek to rip open his shirt like he's the real Triple H.
Oh.
Unbelievable.
Okay. The real Triple H?
Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forgot that he became Hollywood when he was over there. Yeah.
This match felt really long. Kane was bumping like a young Kurt Hennig. What? Triple H Irish whips him into the steps, and he fucking flies head first into them.
Mm-hmm. I would be a bit surprised if after this, someone like Undertaker wasn't maybe going to Kane and being like, you don't need to bump like that.
What the fuck? You're making us all look bad.
Unless you're up against me, bro, you don't need to be bumping like that. But yeah, I was, that took me by surprise, because you assume, I could remember the story angle that we're going towards in this before the match started. But I kind of expected that Kane would just physically dominate the match up until we got to the point where the swerve was going to come. But Triple H had quite a lot offensively in the match against a monster like Kane, which it was surprising.
Kane was still doing the whole land on his feet thing. He jumped over the top rope to the outside.
He did, yeah.
Madness.
Yeah.
It was a fairly decent match, actually. It felt like a professional wrestling match broke out for a little while in this pay-per-view, which was nice.
Yeah.
But then Chyna makes her way out looking a lot more womanly than I feel like she had, even like the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. There was definitely a point where there was some surgery took place, I think, to soften maybe some of the features.
So I was listening to Cornette the other day there, and he just so happened to be talking about that Brian last asked him about a time that Triple H and Chyna were pissed off at him, and Chyna had been supposed to be doing some sort of thing, and Cornette had been told to cancel it for her because she wasn't able to do it because she had the dentist. She had to go and get surgery at the dentist. And then they'd asked why she couldn't do it, and he'd said. And then Triple H and Chyna, Triple H probably, was like calling Cornette all names under the sun across the locker room and everything like that. And who would have been talent relations? Would it have been JR around about this point in time? Possibly.
Yeah.
He had phoned Cornette and told him that he needed to go and apologise to Triple H and Chyna. And he sort of said, why? And he'd said, well, you made it public that she was getting surgery on her jaw. And he was like, no, I didn't. I said she had the dentist, and that's what they told me.
Yeah.
So apparently I think he'd refused to go and apologise, which is, he says that couldn't be bothered with this bullshit, this nonsense.
Yeah, I can see him not being that not being a good combination. I could see that. But yeah, definitely a change. But yeah, so when she comes out, I think it's at the point where Triple H is looking the most threatening in terms of maybe going to possibly win the match.
Yep.
So logically, you're thinking, okay, she's not having this, so she's coming out to help Kane. But no, there's two elements of the swerve here, really.
Bro.
So the first part being in this match where you're thinking all of DX are back together because Chyna is going to help Triple H. They have Triple H vulnerable. I think Kane has a chair and Chyna's like, let me do it. Kane hands over the chair, but Chyna's actually going to attack Kane instead of Triple H.
Yep.
So Kane, poor Kane, he's deceived, he's betrayed, and Chyna is back aligned with Triple H. I think Kane wins the match by DQ, which doesn't feel like it matters
really
that much. No. Yeah, in terms of what's going on, but there's an embrace between Chyna and Triple H, and you're left to assume DX are, I think Michael Cole might say something like DX are whole again or something like that.
Did you feel like they were trying to make it a bit of a moment with Triple H and Chyna, and the way he was almost Savage and Elizabeth?
Like, Savage and Liz. Yeah, I mean, they're no Savage and Liz, but it's
certainly Savage.
It's I think it's supposed to be your feel good moment, crowd pleasing moment, but we're not quite done with this story yet.
No, indeed.
We are before the next match going to see our guy Kevin Kelly, who updates us, telling us that Mankind has been taken away to a local hospital, and his ability to referee the main event is in doubt. Vince McMahon shows up and announces that he is going to be the special guest referee. He just happens to have a very well-fitting referee shirt, and he's going to throw that on. And then we see Big Pun in the crowd.
Amazing.
Big Pun
with
just enjoying himself.
The world's biggest chain.
Yeah.
So they had, what they have, like a rage party or something the night before.
Okay.
They had like really weird musical acts on it. They had Isaac Hayes singing Chocolate Salty Balls, and they kept showing Vince and he's like killing himself laughing.
Yep.
They had Big Pun, and I think they maybe had Disturbed or something like that as well.
Weird.
Such a weird thing.
That's quite the mix.
So yeah, this takes us into do we get the DX weird, like everybody in? Oh no, sorry, that must be after.
It's after this women's match. So we've got the women's title match between Sable and Tori.
Yep. So Sable's gone full heel.
Yeah, I've got something in my notes that I don't know. Are you allowed to? I think you can say this. My notes start with Sable is a very unnatural gyrator.
You can definitely say that. It's true.
Yeah.
She does. It's almost like, you know, what is this song? Rick, Never Gonna Give You Up. What do you call it?
Rick Astley.
Rick Astley. You know, it almost looks like the rhythm's taking him over.
The way of that, yeah.
Yeah, so she does the grind, but then her body keeps going, and it's almost like it's taking her away somewhere. Yeah. She's got a little bit of that going on. I thought she looked really, really skinny, but I don't know if it's just... did you think that? Aye.
Yeah. I assume, like, obviously she was hugely popular for a period of time. I couldn't think if this was around the time she was going to leave the company, or if she already had left the company and come back, maybe.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
I assume. Do you think they wanted her to be a bit like WWE's, like Pamela Anderson? Is that what they were kind of going for?
Aye.
Yeah. I always felt like she looked great. She wasn't ever going to be a great worker, but I don't think it mattered. But it wasn't really charismatic. Like Sunny was charismatic,
definitely.
But yeah, Sable just didn't really have that.
Nah, she's not someone you'd go, give her a mic.
No, absolutely not. Please keep the mics away from her.
I thought some of her work was all right in this. Sorry, go, but I thought some of her work was all right in this match, though, to be fair.
It was fine, yeah. Was Tori fairly new here?
So apparently Tori had wrestled in Japan before this.
Okay.
But as far as new to WWE, yes, and I don't know if you remember, there was the last match of Sable's, we saw Michael Cole's like, there's that stalker. It's that stalker. That's who that was. It was Tori.
Right. Okay.
She was not very good at all.
She seemed to have, was it, her costume was giving me slight Giant Gonzalez vibes.
Nice. It's a great pick. I kind of thought like the theatre show Cats, thought she kind of looked like Mr. Mistopheles, but Giant Gonzalez had something there as well. Yeah, that wasn't a good look. And she was awful. Yeah, she was. I'd kind of assumed this was her first ever wrestling match. That would be a fair assumption. And yeah, so most of the way through this match, we get some ginormous women appearing on the apron. Mm-hmm. She's got a terrifying face, Nicole Bass, hasn't she? It's almost like an Uncanny Valley thing. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. So apparently she was a part of the Howard Stern show, which I didn't really know anything about. Like, I'd heard of Howard Stern, then you kind of his general arc, but they've obviously just thought this could work. We'll give her a. I assume she's going to be in a match at some point.
Oh Christ, she just looks crazy horse. Yeah. That she would just take someone's head off. She wrestled in ECW, didn't she?
Oh, I think she did. Yeah.
I wonder. I couldn't remember if that was before or after this, but Yeah, Sable sort of acts as if, like, yeah, she's with me, but then after she gorilla presses Tori, Sable's kind of looking at her like, are you going to attack me?
Yeah.
Which,
yeah, almost like she wasn't smartened up to what was going to happen in this match. Yeah.
Was that another DQ?
Or
was that behind the ref's bar? There was a ref bump, wasn't there?
Yeah, the ref went down at a point, and then I think that's when that all happened. So Sable just got a kind of an easy cover for a win after that. She
was a bit dressed like Bill Buchanan's character from Right to Censor, wasn't she?
Yes. I forgot all about Bill Buchanan.
B squared.
Yeah.
And the hip hop hippo. Jeez.
Oh, wow.
That was our one women's match.
Well, we get the interview segment with DX all realigned. So you've got Triple H and Chyna back with the Outlaws and X-Pac. And they're talking about how aligned they are. And it sounds like if you're Shane McMahon and the corporation in general, you're in for a lot of trouble now because DX are back and stronger than ever.
Nice. And X-Pac cuts quite a cutting promo. Really rocked me to my core.
Oh.
Shane, get ready for pain.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Was that it? 'Cause that's the bit I put a note in about. Is that all he said?
You're like 130 pounds. There's no pain for Shane.
You don't want a Bronco Buster right all up in your face.
Nah, you don't. It's true. Shane McMahon is European champion here.
Yeah.
He's got the whole X-Punk thing going. Shane plays the silver spoon son of a billionaire like perfectly.
He does. He's very, very good at it. You want to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
Like almost everything he does. And I don't know if this was the first time we saw them, but he's got the Mean Street Posse in the crowd.
Yes.
In the front row of the crowd.
Some random ones.
Yeah, I have a feeling a few of these guys don't stick around.
There's no Joey Abs, but there is Pete Gas and Rodney, and then a couple others.
Did Rodney? Why did Pete Gas get a surname? and Rodney's just Rodney.
Pete on the gas? I don't know. That's a good question.
He's got a test with him, Shane, when he walks out. And obviously, I think Shane's quite a big guy. Like, I don't think he's small by any measurement. But I'm looking thinking, Test's fucking huge. Yeah. He's just absolutely massive.
Do you think it's the Diesel effect that makes you think, like, he's just perfect as a guy behind another guy?
Yeah. It is just the right kind of role for him.
100%.
Yeah.
And he's good in this match in that he does that role well. What was our boy that was with Christian? What was he called again? Give me a beat. No. What the hell was he called again?
I can picture him.
Oh dear. Terrible. He'll come back to us, I'm sure. Yeah, it's an underrated role. It's a good wrestling staple, the sort of big heater behind the sort of mouthy, smaller guy, I think.
Definitely.
You found him?
I'm just looking for it.
I like the way that Tess gets involved in this, especially with X-Pac. They can just pick up and launch it at the pole. He spread eagles him on the wrestling pole, on the ring pole.
Yeah.
He's shown
struggling to find it because when I first looked it up, I maybe should have said Christian Cage or something like that because it's giving me all this religious stuff.
Oh dear, we could go off on a crazy tangent. And I like that Tess is like doing stuff and then high-fiving members of the posse in the front row and stuff like that as well. Yeah. It's quite entertaining. You back with us, yeah?
Tyson Tomko?
Tomko, give me a beat. Yeah. That's the man. Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Shane can't have wrestled very many matches because he's very into himself when he's pulling off different things. celebrating.
Seems surprised at times that he's able to execute certain things.
Yep. But I quite enjoyed this for the sort of spectacle it was.
I thought this was quite good. I kind of had the fear before. It's usually the thing in Shane matches, or the thing that I remember in Shane matches, is some ridiculously dangerous spot. Like when he came off the, was it the Titantron or something like that?
The scaffolding thing.
Yeah.
Steve Blackman hit him.
And I think he also came off Hell in a Cell at one point.
Yep.
You know, just crazy bumps. So I was kind of waiting for the crazy bump, but didn't have that. But it didn't need it. It was entertaining for what it was. X-Pac's obviously a good worker. Test with the, I thought, fairly logical interference shenanigans. Like, it wasn't constant, but it was in effective moments.
Aye.
And you had the sort of the little bits of interference by the Mean Street Posse from the front row, but again, nothing too impactful, just irritation, really.
Do you know what I thought was funny was, obviously there's about 5 of them sitting there in the front row, and for this match they've obviously been told to stand up because they need to get involved in this match. They grab X-Pac, pull him over and all that. And there was a guy sitting in the front row, sitting next to the one that was on the end, and he's like tapping him like, I can't see the match. And the guy sort of turns round to him like, I'm going to just fuck off. I've got a role here.
Oh, that's good. We're going to get Triple H and China coming down to try and help out. Because obviously they've had enough of this interference with by Test. There's obviously the posse there. So China and Triple H are going to come out and I think just even up the numbers a wee bit, help out their boy. And X-Pac hits the X Factor. And you're thinking, oh, this is probably it now. But China is distracting the referee. Why, China? Why? Your guy's got it won. But oh no, Triple H slides in the ring. And he's going to pedigree his old buddy. He's going to pedigree X-Pac. What absolute scum.
Piece of trash.
Triple H pulls Shane onto the cover on X-Pac, and Shane's going to retain his title. Triple H and China have betrayed X-Pac. They've betrayed DX. They just start beating the hell out of him. Beating the hell out of X-Pac. And it's like Triple H is coordinating it. He's telling Test what to do.
Yep.
And then is your moment with the Outlaws. Well, Billy Gunn in particular. Because they are going to charge that ring. Billy Gunn, he's too hyped up. He's basically sliding right through the ring and almost out the other side.
Yeah. He's got like he's almost got like this sort of tracksuit thing on that, you know what, guys that are trying to make weight and they put on like bin bags.
Yeah.
I think that must have had something to do with it because, like you say, he slides right across the ring and Test and China and Shane McMahon, I think, they're all putting a bit of a beat down on DX.
Yeah, and then the lights go down.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
It's Kane. So the corporation members are all running from Kane, and Billy Gunn and Road Dogg help X-Pac to his feet. So you kind of know where we're going now. Unfortunately for the X fans, the reunion only lasted mere minutes, and not only had they lost China, but they've lost Triple H as well. So you're kind of left with a 3-man DX, which I think just looking at it, you kind of know it's never going to really be the same again.
Nah. And to think that it's still another year at WrestleMania 16 and X-Pac and Road Dogg are tag teaming and still sort of clinging on wearing the DX stuff and that.
Yeah.
What was Billy Gunn doing? WrestleMania 16, do you remember?
I don't.
Was he the one Billy Gunn in
Maybe.
2000? Oh, he might be with Chuck.
I think that's too early.
Oh, is it? Is that like...
Because Chuck would have come over in 2001.
Ah, you're right. You're right. Damn it. I was just trying to manifest it. Get Rico in there.
We can do that as a future journey. We just do the full
Billy
journey
and Chuck.
of Billy and Chuck.
It could finish at their commitment ceremony. Cool. Aye. Yeah. I think we end up getting a really long, pretty boring Triple H X-Pac match after this, and it being like they shouldn't really be on the same level.
Yeah, that might be a backlash, actually. Yeah.
I never really understood. Well, obviously this was a swerve, bro. This was just like, oh, nobody will see this coming, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think that's exactly why they've done it, and I think it's their moment of seeing if they can put a bit more of a spotlight on Triple H. But
do you think that
doesn't
make sense though for put him in the corporation?
Yeah, because you've got The Rock, who is he's going to be the figurehead of that organization, and how do you challenge him if you're under him in that? It's a bit messy. Yeah, maybe they just. I don't know. Maybe the other three all failed drug tests or something like that.
Maybe. Although saying that, I'm sure Rock can't be a heel for that much longer.
Yeah.
I think
I can't actually remember how he ends up like falling away from the corporation. Maybe we'll see it all unfold.
Maybe. He's definitely getting. I think it's on that Sunday Night Heat. People are like finishing his catchphrases for him and stuff like that, and he says something like, "This isn't Sing Along with the Rock."
It must be tough to try it because you've obviously got Austin, who is your huge babyface, getting outrageous reactions every time the glass breaks in any arena, and you want somebody on the heel side at that level. It maybe even by here feels a wee bit forced, like they're both baby faces, kind of.
Which is crazy, given what Rock's done to Mankind this year.
Yeah,
says a lot about the way that he interacts on the mic and all that. Okay, next match.
I've got a segment of some. I've written it as Ministry Mind Games by Undertaker as they take Shane. They burn a teddy bear in front of Vince that clearly had some significance to him. We get Undertaker attacking Vince, Big Boss Man with the nightstick making the save. Hell in a Cell match gets confirmed, and Undertaker promises that there will be a sacrifice. He's a man of his word,
a dead man of his word.
It is. We get a segment of like what seemed like just panic at what I assume was a Raw studio when get cuts from the live feed to a feed of Undertaker outside Vince's house.
Yeah.
While I think Linda and Stephanie are in the house.
Yeah, I think by this point there's still never been any reference to Stephanie, but Undertaker keeps talking about her and she. But Stephanie's never been on TV yet, so this is their way of introducing her.
Yeah. That brings us to the Hell in a Cell match.
Indeed. So, not to jump too far forward, Adam, but at what point is "Where to, Stephanie"?
I think that's Backlash.
That's all right. Okay, brilliant.
I think I'll know right at the start, because if she happens to be there with Vince at the show, then I think I remember how that unfolds.
So, Hell in a Cell between the Boss Man and Undertaker. I'm going to start with a positive, Adam.
Okay.
Undertaker is in like peak physical condition here. He's so agile.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I was quite blown away by the way that he was moving.
What did you see this version of Undertaker? Like we've gone through like the scary heel, like ominous Undertaker, and then we've gone through him being a babyface just because people liked him, and now it's gone full on satanic by Undertaker. I remember loving the idea of this, like thinking this is a really clever way to go, but just never really buying the execution of it.
All right, okay. What
did you think of this? Did you like this?
Aye.
Yeah.
And I think, obviously, we go through to like corporate ministry, and he maintains that it's almost like he doesn't need to be a main eventer or anything, because he plays that head of the sort of nutters to the side sort of thing so well.
I think I preferred like I like the ministry. I like the bringing people in, seemingly brainwashing, whatever it is that you're doing, to get them to fight for your cause. I think it was, for me, it was when the corporation and the ministry aligned that I was like, I don't know. I like more the idea of them up against each other,
being their own thing. Mm-hmm. It's a weird dynamic because you had Vince with Austin and despising Austin, didn't want him to get a title, but then you've got this sort of to the side feud between Undertaker and Vince, but Undertaker's a heel. Vince is obviously like the ultimate heel figure. It was all quite odd, but
yeah,
it was quite hard to place because this is a strange match where Big Boss Man's clearly a heel. You don't really know what Undertaker is.
Yeah, I think it also led to a bit of confusion for me of, Vince, all right, I get it, you're not a big fan of Austin, but surely you need to be more worried about this other thing that's going on. Like, the focus still seems to be on Austin an awful lot. This guy's messing with your head and stalking your family. Maybe sort this out.
Yeah.
Does it matter that much if Austin's carrying your belt for a few more months? Just, leave that be.
But then he had his head of security on it, and that's why it's Boss Man.
Well,
it's unfortunate that it's Boss Man, I think. I was going to say it could have been Shamrock, but then remember Undertaker and Shamrock did have a match, and Undertaker was trying to do like jiu-jitsu moves and all that.
Yes. Did it not kind of feel like they didn't really have any chemistry?
It's a really odd match.
Just clunky and awkward. Yeah. But yeah, I think we all know what Boss Man is here, which is, he's your guy that he'll run in a segment and hit somebody with the nightstick. He'll have Vince's back and stuff like that. You probably don't want to be relying on him in like your semi-main event.
Yeah, like
here.
A set piece match. Aye.
Yeah.
He just doesn't live up to the billing, unfortunately. Yeah. I didn't, to be honest with you, I didn't think the match was that bad. I expected it to be piss poor, but I thought it was all right.
I think for a cage match that isn't, your Undertaker v Michaels or something like that, I think it's decent. It's all right. I think there's some moments like I think Boss Man gets handcuffs, and I was thinking, well, this is quite a clever thing. That's what you do. That's a way of incapacitating your guy. But then I think, and I don't know if it was planned this way, but I think there's a moment where Taker gets knocked down and they just snap off the ropes. Whereas I wondered if there was supposed to be a big "I'm going to break this" moment, but they just snapped.
The other thing with this is that the crowd start booing quite heavily. It sort of starts quietly, and pretty much they start booing, and then Undertaker just picks him up and tombstones him. And I wonder if somebody said to the ref, "Just tell them to get
just go home. They're not into this." Yeah.
And it was quite a funny thing. But the problem is that the two times you've seen a Hell in a Cell, I think Michaels has fallen off the side of it and went through the table, and Mick Foley's went off the top of it.
Yeah,
Big Boss Man's not going off the top of it, is he?
No, they've ruined cage matches.
So yeah, I suppose you get your if you're into something crazy happening, then you get that happening after the match with the Brood coming down. I like how the Brood came down. It's quite creepy, and
I even quite liked. See the way that they're like tearing at to open up the roof. I quite like that. I thought this is
like crazy animals sort of thing, trying to get in. Yeah. But they throw a. I just thought they were throwing like a rope down or something like that. No, it's a full on noose.
Yeah.
They imagine taking your kid to that. Imagine being like, little Johnny's got me roped in to go to WrestleMania with him. I'm sure it'll be a good laugh sort of thing. And next thing you know, there's a fucking fat guy with a bright red face getting hung. He's kicking and all that, like he's actually being hung.
He does sell it. And Michael Cole keeps screaming, "It's the symbolic! It's the symbolic!" And I'm like, "Guy's being hung in the ring."
What more symbol do you need? Symbolic of what? Death. Yeah, that is one of the more insane things that have ever happened at a WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just don't know. I think when I was younger as well, I could never understand how they could have done it either. He must be wearing a harness, obviously, but
yeah, I think, like, I wouldn't claim to know and understand how it's done, but I assume he has something higher that's clipped on that's keeping him, like, his head and neck above actually being any pressure on the rope. But I don't need to see it again. I feel like if I'm ever watching this show again, I mean, I've probably ever only watched the main event, to be honest, so I can just skip past it.
That's fair. Okay, do we get anything? Oh, we get. That's the thing. It really strangely goes from Bossman kicking, being hung to death, into there was a rage party last night. It was awesome.
Yeah, was it FanFest? Was it? So I think this was just the start of them really starting to milk these fan conventions before Mania, which I think Mania's basically become a week, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Whatever city it's in. So yeah, there's some clips from that, and then we get Michael Cole announcing JR for the main event. He's going to come down and do the commentary.
Did you think he looked like heel JR that was going to introduce fake Diesel and Razor?
Yeah, and I even more thought that when I didn't feel like he gave Michael Cole that much of an acknowledgement. I felt like Michael Cole was like, thanks JR and all that, and JR's just like,
fuck off.
Stop that, steal my job.
Yeah, we have to have, King says we have to have kind of WrestleMania main event without JR. Then we get The Rock coming out. The Rock coming out first, Champion out first.
We get special ref coming out first.
Jumped the gun, I've got excited.
So
you're right.
We get Vince coming out first as his self-appointed special guest referee, and then the Shawn Michaels music hits. The best thing about this Shawn Michaels segment was the music hitting, because it's WrestleMania and Shawn Michaels is going to come out. But then you see and hear him, and you're like, oh.
He's wearing a cross.
I feel like this is maybe still a bit of a shell of a Shawn Michaels. I don't know that anybody's really home at this point, but he is going to come down so he's commissioner. He's commissioner of the WWF at this point, and he is going to go through a very long-winded segment and try to get himself over a bit, and just getting to the point of informing Vince that he does not have the power to appoint an official for a match at WrestleMania. It's only the commissioner that can be doing that. So Shawn's going to send Vince to the back or out of the building. It wasn't totally clear, but then I think he tells Vince that he is allowed to be here. He's just not allowed to be the referee. And they'll have a fight in the parking lot if any of his rules are broken. I think that's the gist of it.
He says if you want to go man to man at it in the back, just you let me go.
Yeah.
And he also says to Vince something like, I think you just alluded to it there, he says something like, you and your corporation, well, maybe I'll let you.
Yeah.
Corporation will be banned from ringside as well.
I think there's still some cleanup work required for Mr. Michaels there.
He's still got 3 years to go. So
we've just got I think it's Mike Chioda that is going to referee this main event.
Yep.
And then we get the intro for The Rock, and he does clearly have some fans in that arena. Like I'm not saying the guys that are cheering him are booing Austin, because I imagine they're probably cheering them both. But he does get a pretty positive reaction from a lot of the fans.
And Austin forgot his vest, so that is why he came out in a t-shirt.
Okay.
Imagine that.
That's only your biggest show of the year.
It's so sad. I was quite disappointed when he came out in the t-shirt. I was like, I was looking for like perfection, and I've not got it. Sorry, go on.
What did you think of the match?
Oh, I absolutely loved it. I loved the chaos of it, and the pace of it is just 100 mile an hour.
There's just kind of an electricity about it. We've talked before about certain things feel like they have a big fight feel, and it's these two guys who I think are quite clearly the two biggest stars in the company, and it's the main event, and it's for the title, and there's like a excitement around it that feels quite real.
Yeah, I think the crowd adds to that, but I think the ferocity that Austin is going for The Rock with, and the intensity with which The Rock is taking Austin's head off with his clotheslines. They didn't really need to do anything outside punch, kick, and clothesline, and I think this match would have just been as good as anything. Certainly on the card, I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. I think the only thing I was hoping wouldn't happen were chairs, but I do think there maybe is one at some point. Just a really entertaining, big feeling match. I did wonder. This got me thinking, because I think I'd be pretty terrible at this if I was like a booker of a wrestling promotion. My problem would be I would see this and just be like, well, we'll just go with this for the next year. Like, you can't really do that. You have to, change it up a bit. Nah, just keep giving them this.
Yeah, 100%. Then, of course, Austin has his injuries, but yeah. Well, they must do a rematch at Backlash, and we get some of the things that we thought we were getting there. Yeah. It's crazy when they go into the crowd and they try and do the Bret and Austin WrestleMania 13 thing where they wrestle through it and the crowd just won't let them.
Yeah.
They're too rabid. And they end up just coming back. But they do the classic, I think it's sort of classic Rock Austin thing where they go up the aisle and they suplex each other on the cement. Austin takes a horrible looking landing on one of those lights with his knee.
Yeah.
There was with Cena retiring, I saw that there was an interview and they were giving him names and he was saying what he thought of them. And he referred to Punk as his wrestling soulmate, and I think that describes Austin and Rock a lot better. They feel like, to me, that's the best rivalry of when I watched wrestling, and I just feel like they just merged together so perfectly.
Yeah. It clicks. It works. The chemistry's there. They're both just oozing charisma, and just both so watchable. So when you put the two of them together, it just it's quite special. We're going to get a Tim White sighting because Mike Yoda takes a bump. So
doesn't he take a bump? He takes a concussion.
Yeah.
He gets rattled in the head with a chair shot from Austin. I think Rock pulls him in front of him, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So as if we couldn't get any more charisma in the ring, you've got Tim White now.
There you go. And he just walks straight into rock bottom, doesn't he? I just thought, the wrestlers are roughly the same size, so when they're landing, it's probably not that bad. But Tim White looks like he's I don't know, the way he lands doesn't look good to me. But he's survived worse. He's been in Hell in a Cells and whatnot.
True. There's one of your favourite Earl Hebner pinfalls. One of the
he comes running, does it straight away. Is this the first instance of main event stars kicking out of finishers? Do you think? Because the crowd are going mental when each kicks out of rock bottom and stunner.
I certainly can't think about it in previous WrestleMania main events having happened. Because I think, when it was Hogan Warrior, I think Warrior moves before Hogan lands the leg drop.
Right.
So he doesn't kick out of it. He gets out the way of it, having hit him.
Saying that Warrior kicks out at 400 flying elbows from Savage.
Yeah,
it wasn't a main event though, but
yeah, he does.
Andy kicked out a pedigree with velocity, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe it's just different rules when it's Warrior, I suppose.
Warrior's like the architect of modern wrestling. Is that what we're saying?
I mean, maybe just in that sense.
Okay.
It feels like a bit of a stretch beyond that.
I've never seen anybody doing that roly-poly thing you did.
Oh, so eventually we're going to get Vince walking down. And I think just as he's doing that, Austin grabs a chair. Vince knocks the ref down, and I think there's several people down at that moment in time, because I think Rock had low-blowed Austin when Austin got distracted by Vince. But we're going to get a crowd pop because a fully broken Mankind starts coming down the ring. He's on his way back. There's never any quitting this guy. And he knocks down Vince, and now Mankind is finally going to take his rightful place as the referee in this match.
That's right, because Vince is he's stomping Austin in the corner along with The Rock, isn't he?
Yeah. We get a few more near falls, and then I think it's a rock bottom and a people's elbow by The Rock. But Austin, he gets out of the way of the elbow. So Rock hits the mat, and Austin. You feel like Rock maybe oversells the stunner?
You think?
Austin stuns The Rock right out of his boots, and Mankind is on hand to count the pinfall. Austin, world champion.
Beautiful.
Vince looks deeply depressed.
Oh, that's a good shot of Vince. He's so good at that.
He is good
the reaction.
That, What did you think of Earl celebrating with Austin with the beer?
Yeah, so Hebner, a year past, was in the hospital for Michaels Austin, and he was supposed to be refereeing that, and he wasn't able to.
Okay.
And obviously, this is a year on. Austin invites him in the ring. I can't imagine that Austin's intention was for Earl to be on the ropes.
Yeah, when he's
down in the beer.
It's a really funny image. It looks so unnatural.
It's weird. But fair play to him.
He got his moment.
He just looks like a wee boy or something. But I like the whole Austin proper milking it, drinking his beers and giving the fans the big celebration. That's good.
Yeah.
And that's us. That finishes us off.
Overall?
Overall you go home happy.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I thought it was better than I expected it to be.
Okay.
There wasn't really anything where I thought, maybe the tag match, where I thought, what's the point in this? But I thought it was all right.
I thought the main event was as good as I was hoping it would be.
Special, that, eh?
I was hoping for a wee bit more elsewhere on the card.
Fair.
Our legion of listeners would like to know how our podcast Christmas night out went.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah. How did it go?
It went a wee bit drunk.
It did a wee bit. It did.
A wee bit. Under control, but a wee bit. Yeah.
It caused some issues for me the next day.
Okay.
As far as health related, not anything else. We were very well behaved.
Oh yeah. I know.
We're too old for any sort of shenanigans.
Oh yeah, certainly no. Ramifications. There were no. Yeah. I just I went there thinking, well, I need to stay fairly sober because I had a busy day the next day. And I was capable of executing everything that was happening that next day. But I felt a little bit bleary-eyed when I first woke up.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been my first time drunk in about 18 months, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't say the same.
So here's to another 18 months?
Yeah. Hopefully that's...
We surely won't be recording this in 18 months, will we?
I mean, I imagine what will have happened is we'll have discarded 99, gone through a full other journey, potentially launched a few other podcasts, and then maybe come back to do a full deep
2000?
dive, full deep dive analysis of the dark match between Meat and Kurt Angle.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Keep your eye on the meat. I always say that.
Always.
Huh? Okay, let's just stop this podcast. Okay, King of the Ring 99 is next up. That'll be our first podcast of January. Any listeners have a fantastic Christmas time and New Year time.
Yeah.
And we'll be back with this incredibly electric conversation in 2026.
Weird. Yeah.
John Cena's retired.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I heard. I didn't watch anything. I kind of
don't care.
I wish him well. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Well in his future endeavours.
I'm sure he'll be okay, and I'm sure the wrestling machine will move on. Maybe it's not a bad thing from from his point of view or the company's point of view. Maybe. I really thought when it was first announced, I'll make sure I watch his last match, and I just haven't really had any interest by the time we got here.
Fair. Yeah, they never did this sort of fanfare for Midian, which is...
Yeah.
And
maybe there's still hope that he'll
be
back.
Because there's a bit of gimmick overlap with the whole "you can't see me, I've got one eye in a jar" thing. Right, let's go. Let's go.
Yep.